Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we're going to learn about 12 psychological tips to read anyone instantly. Now, let's begin. What if you could read people's intentions within seconds? With the right psychological tricks, you can learn a surprising amount of information about anyone, even a complete stranger. Long before you've learned anything about who they are, you can accurately judge whether they're nervous or confident, dishonest or trustworthy. You can identify strong positive feelings like admiration and love, or pinpoint warning signs of risky, angry, or impulsive behavior. In other words, there are dozens of subtle but significant clues in people's voices, gestures, and emotional responses from which you can reliably infer real details about their character, their values, or their true intentions. You can snuff out lies and identify manipulative people. You can read people's faces in order to make more memorable first impressions in any social context. In other words, the applications are nearly limitless. Here's the good news. Reading people isn't a magic trick or a supernatural power. It is an incredibly useful and powerful skill set that almost anyone can learn. Informative cues and signals are happening all around you. You don't recognize them now because you don't know what to look for. But if you pay attention to the right signals and learn the meanings behind these common cues, then you'll discover most people aren't so difficult to read. So let's dive into the details. What psychological tricks can you use to understand anyone almost instantly? What specific signals and cues reveal a person's genuine thoughts, feelings, and preferences? Whether you're hoping to make gains in the workplace or discover if someone's truly worthy of your trust, these psychological tricks will help you understand people in any environment. Our goal is to give you an arsenal of tips, tricks, and tools that help you recognize the subtle signals that may have slipped right under your nose. All of these tricks come straight from the people who are most knowledgeable about human habits, patterns, and behavior. Before you can analyze people like a professional, consider these 12 psychological tips to help you read anyone almost instantly. Number 1. Assessing personal investment. Appearances can be deceiving, but if you know what to look for, you'll learn many useful pieces of information by analyzing someone's wardrobe, grooming habits, and general presentations. For example, pay attention to their choice of clothing. Are they dressed up or dressed down? Are they wearing something form-fitting or relaxed? Does this person look like they spent a lot of time getting ready, or did they wear the first thing they found in their closet? Analyzing someone's wardrobe gives you a glimpse into their honest intentions. If someone's clothes are well-fitted and stylish, you know this person cares about how they look, likely because they have a specific goal in mind. At an interview, this shows professionalism and ambition. On a date, it shows care and consideration. Consider the alternative. If someone's dressed carelessly or in casual clothes, it's safe to assume they're not as emotionally invested in whatever they're doing. The occasion is not important enough to them to warrant a thoughtful outfit. Now, that doesn't automatically mean they don't care, but there's a good chance they aren't as invested as you think. Number 2. Physical transformations. Watch how someone walks, stands, sits, and simply carries themselves through the world. The way someone moves provides you with a unique glimpse into their state of mind. If their posture is tall and straight, they're likely feeling confident, happy, or satisfied with their situation. On the other hand, curved, slouching posture usually demonstrates discomfort, insecurity, or unhappiness. Analyzing the way someone carries themselves gives you a general picture of how they're feeling at the moment. Of course, their posture may change. They may sit up straighter or walk taller, but each of these transformations tells you how their mood is changing over time. Number 3. Shifting body weight. Next time you're having a one-on-one conversation, pay special attention to the direction that your bodies are facing. When you're interested in someone, your body turns toward them and leans forward. You show interest and curiosity by physically tilting your body in their direction. But when you're uncomfortable, bored, or defensive, your body sends the opposite signals. Most people unconsciously lean backwards, creating more distance between you and the other person. That signal is especially useful because very few people do it on purpose. It's something that people do without thinking and accidentally expose their true intentions. Number 4. 2 probing questions. Asking questions is one of the best ways to learn about a person, but not all questions reveal useful details about who someone is or how trustworthy they may be. That's why many experts in the field use two different kinds of probing questions to judge someone's true intentions. The first question is simple and easy and establishes a baseline for this person's body language and vocal tones. When they answer this question, keep a close eye on their posture, their hand gestures, and the expression on their face. Why? Well, because the second question may cause a sudden shift in their behavior. Question number 2 is a hard-hitting or surprising question. This one should be personal or unexpected, a question designed to catch this person off guard and push them out of their comfort zone. Sudden discomfort usually triggers a change in their body language, so watch how they react. Look for sudden signs of nervousness, frustration, or even excitement. By watching how their body language changes, you can learn a lot about what someone wants or how they really feel. Number 5. Spotting deviations. This trick works best on people you already know. Once you have a general idea of how this person behaves, you can quickly identify changes in their mood by spotting deviations in their behavior. For example, imagine someone you know always has bad posture. They slouch way down in their chair and they hunch their shoulders when they stand. But all of a sudden, this person is standing straight as an arrow. Sudden deviations like these are big red flags that something's wrong. Number 6. Objective analysis. For every signal on this list, objectivity is key. If you hope to get an accurate read on someone's behavior, then you must set aside your personal judgments. For instance, you may know a toxic person who's always twirling their hair. Naturally, you associate hair twirling with lies or manipulation, but this cue can mean any number of things, good or bad. Before you can read anyone effectively, separate your personal opinions as often as possible. Your lack of objectivity will only lead you astray. Number 7. Examining facial cues. We can draw many reliable conclusions about someone's personality by examining the subtle features of their face. Someone who smiles often may have smile lines and crow's feet. Someone who's stressed and tired may have bags under their eyes or tension in their jaw. Analyzing facial features allows you to spot deviations in someone's mood or behavior. When someone's reactions don't match the emotions etched into their face, well, it's possible they aren't feeling or acting like themselves. Number 8. Cryptic smiles. A smile can mean dozens of different things. When someone is truly happy, they smile by turning up the corners of their mouths and crinkling their eyes. A less genuine smile may be just as big and bright, but the eyes are usually left out of the picture. A crooked smile suggests sarcasm or ingenuity, while a dominant smile raises your eyebrows and curls your upper lip. These are just a few of the many types of smiles that humans use on a daily basis. If you can learn what these expressions mean, then you can get a better read on almost anyone. Number 9. Fishing for signals. When you meet someone new, you engage in small talk. You talk about the weather, about sports, about the venue. You talk about surface-level things because you don't know each other very well. But small talk plays an important role in analyzing other people. During small talk, you can quickly establish a baseline. You can interpret body language, ask questions about their lives, and listen to the tone of their voice. In other words, small talk gives you an opportunity to analyze other people's behavior without anyone catching on. Number 10. Action phrases. You can draw meaningful conclusions about someone's state of mind by analyzing their choice of words, specifically their use of active or passive words and phrases. People who speak actively about their lives usually have more self-esteem and feel a greater sense of control, which is associated with security and happiness. People who use more passive language, on the other hand, are typically nervous, uncertain, and unreliable. Passive statements are also more likely to be dishonest. Passive words create psychological distance between their language and their emotions. In other words, it's easier to lie when you don't feel personal responsibility for the things you say. Number 11. Physical reactions. Sometimes your body physically reacts to negative cues. Maybe a stranger makes your hair stand on end, or you get goosebumps when they look into your eyes. These physical reactions can help you judge the quality of someone's character or the honesty of their intentions. You may get goosebumps because someone is expressing their real, honest feelings for you. On the other hand, your hair may prickle up whenever someone lies to your face. In either case, your body is sending you a real physical signal that should never go unnoticed. Number 12. Unconscious instincts. Last but not least, one of the best ways to gauge someone's intentions is to trust your gut. It's not an exact science, but your brain often picks up on things that you don't actively notice. All you feel is a weird, possibly negative instinct. You may not immediately know what it means, but that gut feeling is a byproduct of a more complicated unconscious response. As you learn to read people more effectively, your instincts will grow sharper and more reliable. So, learn to trust your gut, because you know more about people than you think. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.